Hi class, my name is Sydney and today's topic of sexual violence may be very sensitive in manner. I have a favor to ask of you, and that is to refrain from watching this lecture if it at all makes you uncomfortable. Please let Miss O know of any concern and know that we're here for you. Now, while we learn about sexual violence, I want you to keep in mind how this information can benefit you and healthy decision making for you and your relationships. So, what is sexual violence? According to RAINN, the nation's largest anti sexual violence campaign, sexual violence is an umbrella term used to describe all forms of sexual crimes, such as sexual abuse, sexual assault, sexual harassment, stalking, sexual exploitation, human trafficking, and so on. I would like to start off our lesson by introducing a very important concept. Consent is known as the required agreement to participate in any sexual activity. Engaging in sexual activity without consent is known as sexual violence. Let's quickly go over FRIES, which can help us understand the main points of consent. F stands for freely given, meaning that both partners have the freedom to say yes, and there is no pressure or pursuing involved. R stands for reversible, meaning that consent can be given back at any moment, and if this happens, you must immediately stop what you're doing. I stands for informed, meaning that both partners know exactly what they agreed to. E stands for enthusiastic, and this highlights the need for there to be a key of excitement. If the person looks scared or nervous, you should stop immediately. And lastly, S stands for specific, as each act requires consent, even if it's something you may have done before. So it's important to remember that consent can never be assumed. Consent is reversible at any moment. People who are drunk, high, or passed out cannot give consent, and silence is never consent. So sexual harassment can happen to anyone. The victim or the perpetrator, who is the person in the wrong, can be of any gender and have any relationship with the victim, like a friend, a classmate, a coworker, or boss. It may be the case that the perpetrator thinks what they're doing is harmless, but that's far from the truth, and that's why it's important to understand these crimes. Sexual harassment includes unwanted sexual advances, which are like attempts to engage in sexual activity, unwanted requests or hints towards sexual favors, unwanted verbal comments in a sexual manner, which include jokes, unwanted videos or sexual photos, and stalking. So, this kind of harassment can look like someone making a joke about a female's breasts, making repeated kissy faces towards a crush, talking to someone in a convincing manner about sex, or following someone around campus. When these acts turn more physical, we're now looking at sexual assault. Sexual assault can be defined as any sexual contact or behavior that occurs without explicit consent. This can look like attempted rape, unwanted fondling or touching, or forcing someone to perform unwanted acts. Sexual abuse occurs when someone takes advantage of a victim and engages them in unwanted sexual activity. This abuse can occur once or multiple times. Any form of sexual harassment or sexual assault that involves children under 18 is known as sexual abuse since minors cannot give consent. Sexual abuse includes activities such as the exposure of body parts, unwanted touching or penetration, or watching pornography or masturbation in front of the victim. Next, let's watch a quick video on sexual abuse.
Emmett, I microwaved a pizza. Want to come down for a slice?
No thanks, Mom.
You okay, bud? You sound a little weird.
Yes, I'm fine.
Grape soda?
Mom! Hello?
Thanks for texting the sexual assault hotline. My name's Jordan. Is there a name I can use for you? It doesn't have to be your real name.
How about Matt?
Cool. Glad you texted, Matt. What's up?
I don't know. Probably nothing.
Something on your mind?
Well, my swim coach keeps having me stay after practice. He said it'll help me make first squad. Yesterday, he showed me some different stretches, and then he touched me down there.
I'm so glad you reached out, Matt. That really took a lot of courage, and I think I can help.
Okay,
What your coach did is called sexual abuse, and it is not your fault. Sexual abuse is when someone does something sexual to another person without that person's consent. It's not only wrong, it's against the law.
okay, but I'm a guy. This isn't supposed to happen to me.
Actually, sexual abuse can happen to anyone of any gender. In fact, 1 in 6 guys are sexually abused before they turn 18. So you're not alone.
Wow, I didn't know it was so common. But it's still really hard to talk about. I feel so stupid.
I know it's tough, but please don't feel stupid. You did nothing wrong. And you know what? A lot of people feel too scared or ashamed to talk about it at all. And keeping a secret like that can cause a lot of pain. You showed real strength when you reached out.
The other thing bothering me is I'm straight, or at least I was. Does what he did mean I'm gay now?
Sexual abuse has nothing to do with sexual orientation. If you're straight, you're still straight, even though this was done by another guy, even if your body responded in any way.
Okay, but what do I do now?
Contacting us was a great first step. There are other organizations that can help too, and they'll keep your conversations confidential. But first, you might want to talk with an adult you trust so they can get you some additional support. Do you have someone like that?
Yeah, I think I can talk to my mom.
That's great. Just remember that what happened to you was not your fault, that you did nothing wrong, that this is more common than people think, and you are not alone.
Thanks. I'm gonna get going. Hey, Mom?
You texted?
Can I talk to you about something?
If you or someone you know needs help, please talk to a trusted adult or service organization. You can also visit 1in6.org to chat with a trained advocate 24/7 or join a weekly chat-based support group.
Okay. So earlier in our lesson, Asidbek introduced to you factors of healthy and unhealthy relationships. It's important to be aware of these signs to prevent the occurrence of intimate partner violence. Intimate partner violence, or adolescent relationship abuse, is present in relationships where one partner exerts more power and control over the other. This type of abuse isn't always physical and can cause emotional, economical, and psychological trauma to the victim. This type of abuse can look like name calling, separation from friends or family, lack of trust and respect, or controlling them over where they spend their money, who they see, what they do with their time, or what they eat. Early warning signs to look out for include extreme jealousy, constant put downs, temper problems, and possessiveness. Let's quickly watch this PSA on teen dating violence.
He's so romantic. He's always buying me flowers and treating me to dinner.
He was so sweet and very protective. He just wanted to make sure I was safe.
He is so cool. Sometimes he calls me names, but everyone does that.
She texted me constantly, wondering where I was or who I was hanging out with. It's nice to be loved so much.
I'm lucky to have someone totally dedicated to me, but sometimes I feel trapped.
She hit me, but she apologized right after.
He forced me to. Is it really my fault?
He pushed me, but we do that all the time.
She spat in my face, but she apologized after. She choked me, but she was just angry.
He punched me in my face.
She hit me, she
Constantly
slapped
texting
me.
me.
Pushed me down.
She
He
texted
just
me
wanted to make sure I was
constantly.
safe.
She calls
said
me
he was
names.
sorry.
Said he was
She
sorry.
said she was sorry.
Said he was
Because I
sorry.
love him.
She loves me. I love her.
All right, so like the video said, there's no excuse for abuse, and it's crucially important to get help. If you or someone you know is experiencing teen dating violence or any form of abuse we discussed today, please don't keep it a secret. There are plenty of hotlines available, like in the videos we watched, so here are some links that are available 24/7 where you can get help. That wraps up our lesson on sexual violence. I want you guys to please stay safe, stay informed, and thank you for listening.